This is Form A of the pre-trip, and you want to start as you approach the vehicle. You check the overall condition of the body of the vehicle. You look underneath for any leaks, loose hanging wires or debris. And you want to start at the top, go from left to right, top to bottom. Start at the top with your clearance lights. They're properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, clean, and proper color amber. Drop down to your windshield, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, clean. The windshield seal is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. The windshield wipers properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and firmly pressed against the windshield. We move up to the lights. We do our headlight assembly. The entire assembly is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. We have our low beam and high beam, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, clean, clear in color. We have our turn signal, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, clean, and it's amber in color. There's an amber bulb in there. We have our side marker light, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, clean, amber in color. All right. Gonna lift the hood. We're gonna start on the passenger side. Passenger side, we're gonna check all general hoses to make sure they are properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and not leaking. We check all general wiring to make sure the general wiring is properly secured, not cut, damaged, no rips or frays. Next, we go to our coolant reservoir. Make sure it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, not leaking. Make sure the cap is tight, and if the engine is hot, we will not remove the cap. You check your fluid level on your reservoir. Make sure it's above minimum or at max. You follow the hose from the reservoir. You follow it all the way down, and it will lead you to your water pump. Your water pump is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and is not leaking. Water pump has a pulley on the front, therefore it is belt driven. The belt is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, no cuts, rips, or frays, and when pushed in the center of the belt, there's no more than 3/4 inch of play. Now we'll go around to the driver's side of the vehicle. Here on the driver's side of the vehicle, again, we go top to bottom, left to right, and also we check all general holes and wiring, just as we did on the other side. So here we start with the alternator. The alternator is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. The alternator wires on the side here are properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, no cuts or frays. The alternator has a pulley and a belt, therefore it's belt driven. And the belt is properly secured, no cracked, damaged, or broken, no cuts, rips, or frays. And when pushed in the center, it has no more than 3/4 inch of play. We move over to our oil fill tube and our dipstick. The oil fill tube is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and not leaking. The dipstick is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, or leaking. And to check the levels, we pull out the oil dipstick, wipe it off, reinsert it, pull it back out, and check the level. It should be above minimum or at max. We have our power steering fluid reservoir. The reservoir is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and it is not leaking. Here's the dipstick. We pull out the dipstick, and the dipstick should read above minimum or at max. Next, we go to our air compressor. The air compressor is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, not leaking, and it is gear driven. Next, we go to our power steering pump, which we follow the hose out of the bottom of the reservoir along the frame down here to the bottom here. And our power steering pump is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, not leaking, and it is also gear driven. Come back up to go try steering shaft. Our steering shaft is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Properly secured with U-joints. U-joints are not cracked, damaged, or broken, and they're also properly greased. The shaft has no more than 10 degrees or 2 inches of play. Our steering gearbox and hoses are properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Neither is leaking, and the hoses has no cuts, rips, or frays. We have our 3-piece steering linkage. 1, 2, 3. Pitman arm, drag link, and control arm. They're all properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. They're secured with nuts, bolts, and cotter pins. Then we have our spring mounts or frame brackets in the front and one in the rear. They're properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. We have our leaf springs. They're properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Straight, not bent, no scissoring. We have our U-bolts, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. All bolts are tight, not loose. If they were loose, we will see shiny metal. Our shock absorber, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Secured with upper and lower bolts and rubber bushings. It's not leaking. We have our brake hose and brake lines. The ABS line is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. No cuts, rips, or frays. The air hose is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. No cuts, bumps, or abrasion, and it is not leaking. We have the, you can swing around here. We have our brake chamber, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and is not leaking. We have our push rod, it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, straight, not bent. Have our slack adjuster, it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and when pulled by hand, should have no more than 1 inch of play. Now if you come inside there, we have our brake drum. You feel in there, we have our brake drum. Our brake drum is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Free of oil, grease, and debris. Our brake pads and brake linings is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Free of oil, grease, and debris, and must have at least 1/4 inch of pad. Our inner and outer wall and face of the tire must be properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. No cuts, bumps, or abrasion, and not leaking. The tread depth should be, the tread should be evenly worn and have a minimum tread depth of 4/30 seconds. Our rim, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. No welds. Our lug nuts are all present and tight. If they were loose, you will see shiny metal and a white powder residue for this aluminum rim. And for metal rims, you will see rust trails. We have our axle seal properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and it's not leaking, and it's filled to the proper level. Our valve stem is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, straight, not bent, has a metal cap, and is not leaking. And we'll check the tire pressure here with a tire gauge.
Pause it.
Yeah. Your 3-piece steering linkage. 1, 2, 3, which is your pitman arm, drag link, and control arm. They're properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Secured with bolts, nuts, and cotter pin or cotter key. Your frame bracket with spring mount in the front and one in the back. They're both properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. The springs Leaf springs are properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. No shifting. Scissoring or shifting. Your U-bolts, 1 and 2, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. All nuts and bolts are tight. If they were loose, you'll see shiny metal. Shock absorber, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Secured with bolts and rubber bushings, top and bottom, and it's not leaking. Your air lines and air holes, both are properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. No cuts, bumps, or abrasion, and the airline is not leaking. Your brake chamber, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, not leaking. Your push rod, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, straight, not bent. Slack adjuster, properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and when pulled by hand, should have no more than 1 inch of play. Your brake drum, see it? Mm-hmm. Your brake drum is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, free of oil, grease, and debris. Your brake shoes or brake lining is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, free of oil, grease, and debris, and should have at least a 1/4 inch of pad. Inner, outer, sidewalls, and face of the tire are properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. No cuts, bumps, or abrasions, and not leaking. Tread depth, the tread is evenly worn and have at least 4 seconds of tread depth. Your rim is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. No welding. All lug nuts are present and tight. They're properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. If they were loose, you would see white powder or shiny metal. Hub oil seal is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, not leaking, and filled to the proper level. Your valve stem is properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, straight, not bent, has a metal cap, not leaking, and you would check the tire pressure here with the tire gauge.